everybody. We're hanging out today. Camelback is the Twin Peaks location for us. We're here until 4 o'clock, and we couldn't pick a better time to have the sports professor on the show because the Pac-12 is back, and they announced 4 teams that will join the Pac-12 in 2026, and they are not done yet. Rick Horrow joins us right now. Rick, welcome, pal, as always. This has been in the works, obviously, for quite some time with Washington State and Oregon State. Were you caught off guard a little bit that they made the announcement like late last night, the way it happened?
No, but the idea of using the intellectual property and the court ruling to basically save the day and then expand from there, it's not unprecedented, but it's, kudos to the group that was left behind. And if this survives at a high level, this will be history making. The courts basically gave them the ability to move this thing forward and add those 4 teams. And, the bowl dates and the bowl deals will remain the same. The big issue is going to be how this conference factors into the college football playoff in 2 years. A lot more questions than answers, but certainly it is a victory for those 2 schools and for those who remember what the conference used to be like.
It's when you watch, look at the deal, the $17 million plus or minus buyout by the teams, 2 years warning, if you will, heads up. It looks like everything is on par. But the thing that you read into it, Rick, you know more than anything, it looks like the Pac-12 will help them with the buyouts. When you read something like that, are they looking to, kicking $10 million, $7 million, 50% of it? How does that work when you see that another conference basically looking to poach and help poach them with the money?
It may not even be decided yet. If it has, it's certainly not going to be out till everybody understands this plan. But, when you think about it, this is one of those deals where the television number was important to the formation of the expansion. We're not talking about SEC, ACC, Big Ten money, but we're talking about enough to divide the pot among 4 schools that want a little bit more notoriety and 2 schools who were left behind.
You think that you got 6 now. They go after some of the independents that are out there. Maybe just a little far-fetched. Would they go after a Notre Dame who's still out there? I know their association with the ACC. I get that. But, just to purely say, hey, look, Notre Dame, we'll take care of everything and trump whatever the ACC is going after with you.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting concept. I'm not sure that the dollars are available when you're dealing with the, no disrespect to Fresno State, Boise State, et cetera, but, the Notre Dame dollars are in order of tenfold that. And so, when you think about it, it's one of those things where you may be looking at some other conference teams that have the ability to get bought out. And, the independents, there weren't as many as before, the Brigham Youngs, et cetera. So I think the big difference will that you're not going to have to geographically define the region. The Pac-10, Pac-8, Pac-6, whatever it is now, and then back to Pac-12. It's as confined to the West Coast as the ACC is confined to the to the East Coast. It's not. Miami, is playing California next week, and on and on. So they do have the country to choose from.
One last question, because you referenced the ACC, and that seems to be the next conference that could be on the hit list. I know that they have their deal with ESPN through 2035, 36, something like that. But Cal and Stanford, it makes no sense whatsoever. If the Pac-12 chased Cal and Stanford, would they be able then to cut a deal and get out and return to the Pac-12? Can you give us any insight if that could happen?
Would they give him a mulligan,
Yeah,
Rick?
exactly.
Well, why are you asking me about mulligans? Am I the resident expert on mulligans?
Yeah, how's that?
The guy stays quiet for like 1 minute, and then he blows up on Mulligan. Congratulations, pal. Yeah, and I would like to speculate on it, and I will admit that I do not remember nor have read the existing New Deal that Cal and Stanford have signed with the ACC. Money can always buy out any contractual provision anywhere. I know that, but there might be a specific provision about not jumping for X years that you can enforce with specific performance, and therefore you couldn't do it. So I'm gonna punt a little bit on that answer, but I will tell you that every school will now be looked at, and I think it's leverage for a lot of schools who may feel like they want to have a reset bar on what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years, and maybe calling the Pac-6/Pac-10 offices.
All right, Mister, give me 5 aside and give me 2 mulligans on the first side. Rick Horrow, sports professor, joining us here. Rock Minucci, Jimmy B. So you talked about ESPN. You talked about the TV packages. So are these 4 teams betting on the come that the Pac-12 actually get a real TV package, not a streaming package, and move forward? And I don't know exactly what the Mountain West package is right now. I know the branding's there. I get that. But as far as the monies or lack thereof coming into the Pac-12, is that the next step for the Pac-12 to go get?
Yeah, clearly. And the bottom line of it is that remember there was a window that everybody was talking about that Saturday night at 10:30 and 7:30 on the West Coast. That window is open for West Coast oriented schools, the numbers are not going to be anywhere near what the SEC, ACC, Big Ten numbers were. I said before, but I'm sure that it's got to be bigger than a spec deal, and it's got to be bigger than streaming package. And I guess we'll have to see how that all shakes out. And I completely resent the 5 shots aside and the 2 mulligans. I would beat you like a drum without those shots.
Well,
right?
if you wear dark socks with your shorts again, I'm going to talk about you for a long time. All right. TV viewing for the National Football League up big time. Chiefs Ravens, most watched NFL kickoff game ever from the standpoint. Why? How come are we now taking all these streaming services, cable services, and over TV services that it finally came together? Is that the main culprit? Why?
Well, listen, Mark Lazarus, who has been a friend, he runs NBC, he's contributor to the book, and he's been saying for 20 years that the counting system that Nielsen had, where you call up grandma and she answers her rotary phone and says, yeah, I'm watching this Gilligan's Island show, and that was it. That's antiquated. And so how do you amalgamate all of the streaming and multiple viewers in bars and other places and have a realistic count on what's happening? And as a result, the numbers of viewers are higher, not artificially. They're more realistic. And the streaming services are part of it because you have to add that into the mix. So the 33 million number for the Chiefs game was clearly big, and that's going to be even more important as we go along. We have 33 million and one because I guess you don't count Taylor Swift if she's in the suite. She doesn't count as a TV watcher. But, we'll see.
Yeah, there may be a lot of more counting going on now that she's endorsed one Kamala Harris. I'm just saying. So that could be, speaking of counting, to put that out there. That's just our little political
you can't. Now, you're in Arizona, so you can't. Are you sure? We can't edit this because this is live. Are you sure your station is going to allow you to mention the political people?
I would hope it's fair and balanced, right?
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the same company.
Listen, it's a dog-eat-dog world. That's all I got
Oh,
to
it certainly is. It certainly is.
Your Prevagen must have kicked in as well, too, there, Rick Horrow.
Cats and dogs living together.
I've been waiting. Grab your dog. Grab your cat.
That's it.
I've been waiting for like 2 days.
Yeah, keep Duke in eyesight if you would. Please.
Yeah, keep him safe.
Duke and I were trembling when we heard that. I said, Duke, you hear that? He said, yeah. Let me at him.
Thank you, brother. Great having you on.
Thanks,
Thank you, Rick. That's great stuff.
Next week.
You got it. That's Rick Horrow, everybody, the sports professor. We're hanging out here. Twin Peaks Camelback coming up next segment our underdog picks. Yes, the underdog